Video that I'm recording is actually to talk about something that happened to my mom, and I want to talk about it because it's something that actually happens to everybody. I mean, if you look at lately, we've been having records of people experiencing sudden death. I mean, they were there, nothing really bothering them, but then suddenly they go off. So, this is the story with my mom. So, it's a Sunday, and I went for a walk. We don't stay far from each other, so I went for a walk, and then, as usual, go to see her and then say hi because I know it was almost due for church. So she was going, only for me to get there, and then she was sitting down, and then she was almost like in a very lethargic state. So I was like, okay, mom, what's happening? And then she was like, oh, she woke up, she was fine, dressed up, ready to go to church, only for her to notice that she was feeling discomfort, um, to almost to the point of suffering from indigestion, and then struggling to get herself well. She was okay. It's not like as if she was breathless. She wasn't breathless, but she just felt discomfort, and then she was shaky and sweating, and those were the symptoms she was experiencing. This is somebody who was ready to go into church. She was stressed up. So I was like, okay, um, did you check your blood pressure or check your blood sugar? Because those were the first two things that came into my head. And she was like, oh no, she's not done that. So I quickly got stuff, and then we checked their blood sugar. It was normal. And then checked their blood pressure. It was normal. And then this is what she told me. And I know a lot of people do that. She was like, oh, the way I was feeling and all that, I thought I was hungry. So she quickly had a malt during that episode that happened. And I was like, Mom, why would you actually quickly go and grab a malt when you're actually in that phase where you're struggling to get yourself together? She was like, she thought she was hungry. And I'm like, really? Because it could be multiple things. You can't just assume that it was because you are feeling that way, means you are hungry. And this is the mistake a lot of people go around doing. I was like, no. So we checked her blood pressure, only for me to notice that the blood pressure was really up. And this is what we call the silent killer. And I'm using her story as a story to share for everybody to really understand. So, I mean, I literally checked there, we did what we had to do, and then she's fine, she's stable, she's good. But for most people, they will never really look at it from this angle. And most people, if they escape this episode, will never visit the hospital, will never talk to any doctor, never do anything, and then they'll go by their day. Maybe you might have one episode, you'll be fine. You might have a second episode, you'll be fine. You might have a third episode, you'll be fine. But what if the fourth one is what takes you away? What if it's the fifth one that takes you away? This is what happens on several accounts with most people that we notice. We know some friends somewhere, we know somebody somewhere who the same episode happened to them, boom, they are dead, they are gone. And then they're like, oh, but the person was fine, nothing was really wrong with them, they were okay, they've been okay for a long time, and they weren't sick, nothing. And this is the story we keep going around telling ourselves. I have been a witness to two deaths that I know those people, not because I know them personally, but I walk past them every day for years. It's not once, it's not 1 year or 2 years. Like, I mean, several years I've walked past these people, and these guys were obese. And every time you meet them, it's either they are drinking alcohol or they are eating something and sitting down every time. And I walk past them every day. It's either if I'm jogging, I'm running, or like I'm doing my normal step count. I will go through places where I see these people, I greet them, say hi, they ask me how I'm doing, and then they keep being where they are, they keep being fat, they keep eating, they keep drinking. And I see these people several times. And last year, 2024, I saw these two people die and their posters posted up. And I'm like, okay, what's going on? It's just because they refuse to change their lifestyle. They are struggling, they are in pain, they can't walk, but they will keep eating. And I mean, a typical example, like my mom, over the course of like last year, I noticed she was gaining a little bit of fat here and there. She knows the protocols of things to do. I mean, a little bit of fasting, a little bit of walking, strategies we've gone through because she had cancer and it was resolved. She even had high blood sugar. We resolved it because she knows the protocols and she knows the things she has to do because I've taught her. Now, this is the same person who knows this protocol, but for some time now she's been lethargic on doing a few things, and then it gets into the habit, and you tell her, she's like, oh, I'll get back on track, and a little bit of drinking here and there, a little bit of family stuff here and there, activities here and there, and she's gained a bit of visceral fat. Like, I mean, midsection is protruded, gain a little bit of fat. And if you go back to some of my previous videos, I've spoken about visceral fat. It's the fat that clogs your organs. And if fat is a clog around your arteries, your heart, your liver, and all those stuff, it's going to lead you to die. It's going to create a lot of problem. And that is why we say hypertension is a silent killer, because you never see it coming. It never rings a bell. You might have a pistol here and there. You might survive it. You might drink some sugar drink thinking that, okay, some more to really help me. It will save me. It will protect me. And then you get fine. You don't go to the hospital. You don't get yourself checked, and you are going by because in your mind, I'm like, I'm okay. But have you thought about it that most times all these things keep happening, you don't really check it, and gradually as the years goes by, they compound, and that's what's going to kill you. Please, let's all have glucose monitor or a meter to check your blood pressure, and a meter to check a blood pressure monitor, what we call sphygmomanometer. You can have that, and then you can have a glucose monitor or a blood sugar monitor. Like, get this instrument in your house. Everybody needs it so that you keep a track of these parameters. I mean, they are basic. Just have it. It's basic. Everybody needs to get that. That's one. Two, like, make healthy lifestyle a thing of you. You don't really need to spend time to like really, really fast or like do some very extreme stuff. Like, there will be days you fall on the bandwagon, as I talk about, because like weight loss and stuff, they are not linear. And then like, even for me, like weight loss for aging people shouldn't be even a thing like you're really focused on. Make weight loss or even healthy lifestyle a part of you. There'll be days you fall on because there'll be family activities, there'll be other stuff that is going on with you. That's fine. But make healthy living a part of you, so that even when you fall short, when you bounce back, it will still reflect. I mean, you will have some reflection here and there, because at the end of the day, even when you fall off, you still bounce back. You fall off, you still bounce back. You don't need to really be so restricted and regimented. Have your life, but mix it up. So you do right at some point, and then you fall on, you come back. But don't fall off too long, because if you fall off too long, it becomes hard to bounce back. And that's the problem that happened with my mom. And now this is the episode that happened. And this is what happens to a lot of people. They fall off too long that now bouncing back becomes too hard. And then now the change becomes difficult. And that will gradually lead you to your death. It's hard. Change is hard. Being disciplined, changing your lifestyle, really seeing the need for you to live healthy is really hard. But if you give yourself the opportunity and you do it, it's going to be beneficial. I mean, we don't need to go out silently. I mean, you being there one day and then the next moment you're dead and gone. No, it's really sad. So let's make it a point to change our lifestyle. Let's make it a point to take good care of ourselves. And if you need like coaching, you need help with some of these things, reversing metabolic illnesses and stuff, I do that. DM me health, and then I'll respond to you, and then get you into my program, my health programs, and then my coaching programs and stuff. Please, let's share this video with other people. Let them hear, because it's really serious. We are having a lot of sudden death, and people are taking it like it's a joyride. And they're like, oh, this person wasn't sick, and then at the one moment they are gone. It's a real thing. So share this video with somebody you love. Share it with your grandmom, your old lady, your parents, because health is very important. And I don't think we all want to lose our parents suddenly. I mean, they should be there for a while, so that at least we can enjoy their presence a bit, because when you have a demise of a family member, it's really tough. So this is my little advice, and DM me if you need coaching services. And if you're not following me, please follow us on all our channels, and then get to learn about health, because it's really important. And I'll see you in the next video.